All right, let's just get right into it. If you're looking at the job market right now, you're hearing all this noise about AI, about layoffs, and really, you probably just have one question. What programming language should I actually learn in 2026 to get a job? Let's cut through the hype, look at the real data, and figure out a smart plan.
Okay, so first things first, let's tackle the elephant in the room. This is the big fear that's probably keeping you up at night, right? With all the talk about AI taking over and a really tough job market, are companies even bothering to hire junior developers anymore? Is that entry-level door officially closed?
Well, the short answer is no, the jobs are not gone. But, and this is a really big but, the game has totally changed. The bar for getting that first job, it has absolutely gone up. It's no longer enough to just know the syntax of a language. Companies now expect you to be able to do something with it, pretty much from day one.
So, let's just debunk this whole myth that the junior market is dead. We're not going to go off of scary headlines or what some guy on Twitter said. We're going to look at the actual numbers. And you know what? The story they tell is way more optimistic than you've been led to believe.
So check this out, 47%. That is the increase in job postings for developers with 0 to 3 years of experience just since late 2023. I mean, that's not just a little bump. That is a huge jump. It shows that after a couple of pretty tough years, the market isn't just recovering. It's actively looking for new talent again. The opportunities are coming back.
And if you want a hard number, here it is. Right now, as we speak, there are about 24,000 open entry-level software engineering jobs in the US alone. Just let that sink in. 24,000 companies are out there looking for somebody just like you. And that doesn't even count all the unlisted jobs, the internships. Believe me, the jobs are there. The demand is real.
Okay, but here's the catch. This is the really crucial part. Yes, companies are hiring, but what they expect from you has completely changed. Because of tools like AI coding assistants, the expectation is that you're going to get up to speed and start being productive way faster. They aren't looking for someone who just knows how to copy and paste from Stack Overflow. They need you to genuinely understand the code.
And that means the fundamentals, well, they matter more than ever before. We're talking about a deep understanding of whatever language you choose, way beyond just the basic rules. You have to know your core data structures. You know, things like arrays, lists, and dictionaries. You need to be a solid debugger. You absolutely have to know how to use Git for version control. And you need to get the basics of how databases work. This right here, this is the new starting line.
So with that foundation in mind, let's get to the main event, the languages themselves. The way I see it, there are 3 main paths you can take right now that are going to open up the most doors for you as a new developer heading into 2026. Path number 1 is Python, and honestly, it's just an absolute powerhouse right now. Nearly 60% of all developers use it, and it is the engine driving pretty much all of the exciting stuff in AI, machine learning, and data science. And get this, it's growing faster than any other major language out there. That tells you exactly where the future is headed. And of course, the job market backs this up completely. We're talking about over 100,000 open jobs right now in the US that list Python as a skill. That's a massive flashing sign from the industry. So if you're even a little bit interested in those cutting-edge, data-focused fields, learning Python is probably the single smartest move you can make.
Okay, path number 2 belongs to the undisputed king of the web, JavaScript. For more than 10 years straight, it's been the most popular, most widely used language on the planet. And it's pretty simple. If you want to build anything that a user interacts with in a browser, a website, a web application, you name it, you just have to know JavaScript. There's no way around it.
But there's a modern twist here. If you look at what professional teams are actually using today, most of them have moved to TypeScript. Now, TypeScript is just JavaScript with an extra safety net called types, which helps catch bugs early and makes big projects so much easier to handle. So really, your goal isn't just to learn JavaScript. It's to learn JavaScript so you can master TypeScript. That's the professional standard now.
And that brings us to our third path, which leads to what I call the enterprise powerhouses, Java and C#. Now, these languages, they might not get all the flashy headlines, but they're the absolute bedrock of the corporate world. They power the huge critical systems for banks, airlines, governments, the kind of software that simply cannot fail.
And what does that mean for you? Incredible job stability. Just look at these numbers. We're talking over 90,000 open jobs for Java and tens of thousands for C# too. These jobs are typically well-paid, they're consistent, and they're not as swayed by the latest tech fads. So if you want a really stable, long-term career in back-end development, this is an incredibly safe bet. Okay, so no matter which of those three paths you pick, Python, JavaScript, or Java, there is one secret weapon that works with all of them. It's the one skill that for some reason most beginners totally ignore, but literally every single company needs it. I'm talking about SQL. And the reason is so simple. Think about it. Every real application you've ever used runs on data. Your user account, your shopping cart, all the analytics, all of that stuff lives inside a database. And the one language that we use to communicate with all those databases, it's SQL.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The proof is right there in the job descriptions. Over 100,000 developer jobs currently listed in the US mention SQL, and they mention it right alongside Python or JavaScript or Java. That tells you everything you need to know. It's not some extra thing you learn later. It's a core skill hiding in plain sight.
So what's the big takeaway here? Learning SQL gives you a massive advantage. You immediately become more useful to any team because you can actually work with the data. It lets you build way more realistic and impressive projects for your portfolio. And honestly, it helps you understand what your application is really doing under the hood. It is easily one of the highest return on investment skills you can possibly learn.
Now, really quick, I know what you're thinking. What about all the other languages I hear about, like Go or Rust or Swift? Look, those are fantastic languages, but they're specialized. You should think of them less as a starting point and more as something you pick up once you already know what specific career path you want to go down.
And this really breaks it down pretty clearly. If you know for a fact that you want to work on the backbone of the internet, cloud infrastructure, then yeah, Go is an amazing choice. If you want to build super high-performance software where every nanosecond counts, people absolutely love Rust. And of course, if your dream is to build mobile apps, you're going to pick Swift for iPhones or Kotlin for Android. See, they're all tied to a specific goal.
Okay, so let's pull all this together. Let's make this super simple and create an actionable roadmap for you. This is your game plan for getting hired in 2026, and it's designed to cut right through all the confusion and noise.
Here it is, a simple three-step path. Step 1, pick one core language and focus. Start with either Python or the JavaScript to TypeScript route. That's going to open the most doors for you, period. Step 2, once you're feeling pretty comfortable with that language, add SQL to your skills. That combination right there immediately makes you more valuable than most other junior developers. And then finally, step 3, build stuff. Create real projects with your new skills, and then you can start thinking about specializing in an area that you find exciting, whether that's the cloud or mobile or enterprise. You see, having a clear path like this just makes the whole thing feel less overwhelming and way more achievable. So, with this roadmap in your hand, there's really only one question left for you to answer. Which language are you going to learn first?